have taken? A user who uses a phone for 2 hours per month, that comes to 4 minutes per day. How many people are using 4 minutes per day? So what they did, they took, see, statistics is very interesting thing, right? So what you do, you take a case which is only 4 minutes per day. Naturally, those people will not have a problem, okay? And others will have a problem. So average is reduced. Still, they have reported 25% increase in the brain cancer. So yet the final conclusion says there is no concrete evidence, okay? So this is what is happening all over the world. They write in the fine line, and we don't read the things in more detail. So that is our job to tell you what it is. Now, let me talk about another factor of the mobile phone. All the mobile phones are actually defined today by SAR value, that is known as specific absorption rate. And international limit is that it should be less than 1.6 watt per kg. And most of the Nokia people or Sony or other people, they say we are within the limit. For example, this mobile phone has a SAR value of 1.3. They say this is less than 1.6. Some other mobile phone has 1.5. In fact, most of the BlackBerry mobile phones have a SAR value of 1.5, 1.55. Okay, but so they claim they are within the limit. But what they don't tell you, that this limit is only for 6 minutes per day. Has anybody ever told you that it is for 6 minutes per day? And of course, in that 6 minutes per day, there is a safety margin of 3 to 4. So even if I take that extreme safety margin, it still means 18 to 24. And see, I'm just trying to correlate. So these are the facts, and that is what they said. Heavy user means half hour per day, and increase in brain 200% to 400%. So some things, if you are told, then you will take precaution. For example, we carry the mobile phone like this in our pocket, and I have seen most of the teenagers or even children, they keep their mobile phone next to their head. Okay, but now these mobile phones send one pulse every minute to the base station just to have a communication link. So if you are carrying your phone for say 6 hours every day, which I think most of us do, so 6 hours multiplied by 60, 360 pulses is being sent without your knowledge. And when you put a phone like this, almost half the power is absorbed by the body. So that means every day 180 watt power you are absorbing without realizing. And if you are sleeping, keeping this phone next to your head, then if you are sleeping for 6 to 8 hours, you know how much mobile phone energy you are absorbing. So very simple thing, you know, precaution. If it was told to you, you could take that precaution. Keep the mobile phone at an arm's length. And if that emergency phone comes, you can always pick it up. So you don't have to put it. You don't have to always keep the phone in this. You go to your office, put it on the table. It is within your reach, right? You go to home, put it on the table or next to your bed or whatever the case may be. So see, these are the things, if you are knowledgeable, you will take the precaution. Now let's come to the cell tower, okay? Now cell tower, the way it has been designed in India, these cell towers are being installed left and right, next to your office, next to your home, right on top of your home, right in the neighbor's house, and so on and so forth. And these towers are looking right at you in many circumstances. There are lots of rules are there in the world, okay? And one of the rules which says, which actually in India we have adopted, that is known as ICNIRP guideline. That is International Commission for Non-Ionizing Radiation Protection. Now the ICNIRP guideline says that for GSM 900, allowable limit is 4.7 watt per meter square. Now the same ICNIRP guideline also says that it is only for short-term exposure and not for long-term exposure, okay? It's very clearly written, yet what we have done in our country, we have adopted ICNIRP guideline. That is the first thing problem. Second is ICNIRP guideline very clearly says that this is for cumulative radiation. What we have adopted in India for a single carrier. Okay, so if you adopt for a single carrier, remember now 20 carriers are there, several operators and several bands are there which are getting transmitted. So what we are exposed to is huge amount of radiation. And also there are international guidelines that these towers should not be installed in a very dense population. They should be installed at a certain height, if at all they are being there. Here, these towers are installed at just about 1 or 2 meter height from the cell tower. So what happens now? Again, you have to think about, when we talk about this, we have to also think about from where this radiation is coming. Radiation comes from the antenna. If you see these rooftop, you will see those long, thin kind of antenna. In fact, something like a tube light kind of a thing, tube light with a reflector, okay? Or you can even think of me that as an antenna, okay? Of a similar size, right? Now these antennas have a radiation pattern. I'll explain you the radiation pattern, just like if you have a torch. So if that torch is put here, then only that portion will get more light and other portions will get lesser light. Similarly, antenna has a radiation pattern, and these similar of my size antennas have a radiation pattern which we define in terms of horizontal radiation pattern and vertical radiation pattern. And I'll just explain. The horizontal radiation pattern beam width is roughly about 90 degrees. So if I am actually standing like this, then people in this direction are receiving more radiation, you are receiving less radiation. If it is put like this, then you are receiving more radiation, they are receiving lesser radiation. That is horizontal. In the vertical, typically the beam width is only about 6 to 8 degrees. So for example, if you look at it here, this is the way beam is. So that means your face or head is receiving more signal than your feet. If it is tilted down, then your feet will receive more signal than your face. Now let me give an actual example. We have this Usha Kiran building. I think you might have heard. It's quite famous. It was one of the, I think, the first multi-story buildings in Mumbai. Now that's about 20+ story building. In fact, these operators had approached them. They refused to install the tower. So what they did, they installed the tower in the opposite building, which is Vijay apartment on 7th floor. Now what really happened after the installation of the cell tower, within about 2 to 2.5 years, there were 4 cancer cases, and these cancer cases were at 6th floor, 7th floor, 8th floor. And these people, they did some research on their own and all that. They did find that there is some correlation. They told the operator that this is because of this. Now operator simply said, well, it's a 20-story building, only 3-4 people are having cancer, why not others have a cancer? And they have a poor lifestyle and all that kind of a thing. And you can say almost literally they convinced till I came into picture, okay? And around that time, I had published one of my reports, and I did talk to Mr. Gokhale later on. In fact, he referred that he had read my report and then they revived it, the whole thing. And after that, because see, why 7th floor and 6th, 7th, 8th floor, you can see they were in the main beam, so they were getting the maximum radiation, and hence the effect happened on them at an early day. And this happened within 2 to 2.5 years. We also did a measurement at one lady house, older lady. In her house, the radiation level was quite high, but yet within the limit of ICNIRP guideline. And this lady developed cancer within 1 year. Okay, it's that bad. And again, the same thing in her case also. The doctor said, okay, you just had you're an old person, you had a cancer. But actually, the measurements were done after that in her apartment, because one of my faculty colleague at IIT Bombay lived in the same building. So he suspected something, he had read some of my reports. So he actually took the monitor and he did the measurement. And he found that the radiation level is very high. Then recently, I have been doing a lot of these radiation measurements. So I actually found even in Mumbai, radiation levels are so high. I'll give you some numbers. These mobile phones, see, ultimately what is the purpose? We want mobile phone to work, right? Do you want anything else? So mobile phone works at, in the scientific term, we say minus 70 dBm to up to minus 100 dBm it works, okay? Now minus 70 dBm, it shows full strength. At minus 100 dBm, it may show about 1 bar or so. Now, instead of minus 70 TPM on the Vashi Sanpada bridge, we measured the radiation level to be 0 TPM, which is 70 TP more than what your mobile phone requires, and 70 TP actually means 10 to the power 7. And so 1 crore times more radiation on the road. Imagine people who are living close to that, what they are facing. In fact, when we drove here in the last several months, we have found most of the places on our road itself, the signal level is between minus 20 dBm, minus 30 dBm at majority of the places. And I really shudder to think what the residents are facing through. Very recently, I also visited one farmhouse near Gurgaon. There is a Gurgaon Delhi toll naka is there. So from toll naka, just about half a kilometer towards Delhi, there are 4 cell towers are there. And I visited that, and in fact next to that 4 cell tower again there I had measured the radiation level to be 0 dBm, okay, which is extremely high. So we visited this farmhouse, and the farmhouse own words I'll tell you, पहले यहाँ पे 100 लेमन होते थे, अभी सिर्फ 2 लेमन होते हैं. And he said ये पिछले 2 साल से we are facing this problem. ये last year थोड़ी कम थी, इस साल तो एकदम बुरा हाल है. And then I asked him that what about the front trees? He says ये पूरे के पूरे रो में कोई भी जगह पे फ्रूट नहीं आता है. Then I actually told him अच्छा वो ट्री पे तो प्रॉब्लम नहीं हो रही होगी. And he actually started looking at me कि भाई what are you saying? I said कहते हाँ इधर प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, इधर प्रॉब्लम है. I said then I also asked him कि भाई अभी बटरफ्लाइज आती है क्या? And again he started looking at my wife. पहले यहाँ पे बहुत बटरफ्लाइज आती थी, अभी आती नहीं. Actually thought यार मैं कोई साधु संत ओझा किस्म का आदमी हूँ who can predict all these things. But I actually explained to them, see this is where that radiation is coming. These are right in the radiation beam. That is why you are not getting these fruits. And the tree where you are getting the fruits, because they had a farmhouse and it was in the shadow of that, so the bulk of that was getting absorbed by the building. So this is what is happening, and in fact he didn't even know. In fact I talked to the Mali also later on. They were blaming the Mali, यार तुम पानी नहीं दे रहे हो, तुम खाद नहीं दे रहे हो. In fact that Mali was working there for 8-10 years. I'll tell you, I think that day I made one person very happy, and that was this Mali, okay, because so he realized that it is not my problem. And in fact similar cases are there. I talked to a lot of other people who have faced these problems. Like I talked to somebody in Kerala, they are even saying that inside the coconut there is no water anymore. That water is getting dried up. Now see, if the fruit output is reducing, can you imagine what will happen after 1 or 2 years? We are going to have a serious price problem also. People will not be able to eat the fruits. Now I'll ask a very simple question to you people. Have you ever seen a butterfly, honeybee, pigeon, sparrow and other thing next to a cell tower? You would have actually never seen it. You know why? Because see, birds by virtue of their more volume and less weight, that is how they can fly. So when they have a more volume, that means the surface area is more. So power density, which is the from the microwave multiplied with the surface, they absorb more power. And their weight is less. So weight is less means that means the fluid, blood, whatever we would like to say, that is quantity is less. So less quantity is to be heated up and more power is getting absorbed. That is the reason why you are not seeing it. So in fact what we have done the calculation, according to my calculation, if we don't do something immediately, in the next 2 years, we will have 1 crore people getting affected by the cell tower radiation. And I'll tell you the reason also. Because we have 4.5 lakh cell towers in India. More than 1 lakh cell towers, more than 1 lakh cell towers are in dense population. And in that dense population, at least 100 people are living within the close proximity of 10 to 50 meters. And the way what we have done the measurement at different places, according to our calculation, this is what is going to happen. And I tell you, I am not exaggerating at all. In Switzerland, they have reported that Switzerland population is 90 lakhs and 2.5 lakh population of Switzerland is already electro-hypersensitive. And they are even thinking to create a no radiation zone for these residents. So problem is getting very serious, and in fact in this year 5 times I have gone to Delhi. So I met TRI people, which is Telecom Regulatory Authority of India. I met TEC people, Telecom Equipment Center. Then I also met DOT people. And I tell you, one of this person actually said, I will not take the name or other thing. He actually said, I said, yeah, radiation se problem होती है, आपको मालूम है ना? He said, yeah, मालूम है, but हमको we have to keep operators happy. If our telecom regulatory people say that we have to keep operators happy, you can very well understand what is going on. I met the same gentleman again in July, and we were discussing again, and you know what he said? Professor, you must be getting very frustrated because you are not able to convince us. Okay? So I told him that, well, I am not going to give up. I'll keep trying. Okay? One day I will succeed. One day we will be able to tell the people. So what we did, after that, I made a presentation at KEM Hospital. That was in September, where we talked to the doctors and gave a presentation. So I had a formal presentation. If you want, I'll mail that proper. It's about 61, 62 pages. Slides are there. Very informative. But one interesting thing I can tell you, after the presentation, these doctors came to me and they actually said, Professor, you have solved one of our very big problem which we were facing. I said, what is that? He said, in the last several months, we have received several cases. Teenagers are coming to us. They are having either hearing loss or even a tumor next to the ear. And we were thinking that it is because of the headphone they use. But the problem was, if you use headphone, then the problem should be on both the sides. But these people were having problem only on one side, and now we understand it is because of the mobile phone. Why teenagers? Again, teenagers have a relatively thin skull and it can penetrate more. In fact, I would prefer about these things, let my daughter speak more about biological effect. But I just want to tell you, see, so many cases are happening and we are just trying to be ignorant about the whole issue. So I'll ask my daughter to talk more about biological effects, because for me biology is, a very strange word. So I'll let her speak about it.